Welcome back, everybody. We're talking about UFC 291 results. And of course, we're going to start with the Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje match. And we saw who the winner was. And what did you think about that ending, just first of all, with that?
That was insane. I thought it was going to be like another repeat, at least go to the fourth and fifth round. But no, Justin Gaethje hit him with the Leon Edwards move right there, the jab
Yes.
followed by the same side kick, and it landed perfectly. Dustin almost blocked it, but couldn't get to his head fast enough, and it was too late.
I know
Insane.
when
I
I
was
saw
so
that.
shocked.
I was the same way. I think my wife was with me too. My son were like, "What? What just happened?"
Hmm.
Because we were all expecting an
Yeah.
all-out war. What's the first round? I guess was pretty good. It was going back and forth. Gaethje was throwing those leg kicks, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh no, this is going to be bad. Like, what's going to happen with those legs?" But then, like you said, the second round, like, what happened there? What happened
Hmm.
there? So what do you think? Should Poirier should have picked it up more in the beginning of the first round? Is that you think maybe it should have happened, or because I know he kind of he hit Gaethje and he stumbled a little bit.
I wish he followed up a little bit more. But I guess he was thinking this is gonna be like a repeat 5 rounder, but or 3 rounder. I forgot how long the first one went, but it wasn't a repeat, unfortunately. And he should have. It's like would have, should have, could have, moment now at this point in time. But I wish I saw like the highlights after the match ended, and that's when he rocked him a little bit. But then he kind of like stood back and kind of like reset. I'm like, no, man. Like Justin's, these two, they're both the same like animal. You gotta like capitalize once you heard the animal. You gotta go finish the kill. Like you cannot let them regroup. And he did, and now he got knocked out. So, crazy. That was one of the many performance of the nights.
Oh wow, they got performance, or maybe Gaethje got it, or they both did.
There were four total.
All right, because I now when they do performance of the night, do they get both fighters or just that one person? Before it was both.
I want to
And
say it should be both.
all
They
right,
both put on the show.
yeah. Because after the fight, the post conference, and even Dustin Poirier was saying, like, I thought it was going to be a longer fight. He goes, maybe I should have, picked up the pace or capitalized on that first round when he got stumbled. He goes, but
Yeah.
I just didn't expect it to go like that. I was afraid of, he said, the right hand, I think, right, of Gaethje,
Hmm.
and he wasn't even anticipating the leg kick.
Yeah.
Or the kick he gave him in the head. I mean, god dang. I mean, I was just stunned. Like I was expecting such a longer fight, and I mean, it
Yeah.
didn't fail. I mean, it was still an exciting fight,
Hmm.
but man, just ended too shortly there.
Too soon. Yeah, it was just too quick, man. We wanted like at least a good 3 rounds. But unfortunate ending for Dustin. But overall, it was a great fight for what it was. I just wish that kick would have landed like in the fourth. After seeing some more bloodshed.
Yeah, and then I think Gaethje said, like, I don't, you know what, to Dustin, and like, I don't want a third fight. This is
Hmm.
this is too much. But he said, well, if Poirier wants that third fight, to solidify all this, to end it out, or to win that loss back, because he goes, well,
Hmm.
because Dustin gave me that opportunity to get that win back, because he
Yeah.
lost the first one. He goes, I would do it, but he goes, I really don't want to. I guess preparing for a fight like this, and they both said the same thing. Like the drive really wasn't there, but when they know they're facing each other, like this drives them to go to the gym and to work
Hmm.
out, because they know they're going to get rocked, or they're afraid of that rock, so they're going to work their ass off to get to defend it. So, but yeah, it was crazy. But he got the BMF belt,
There you
so
go.
that's
Yeah.
that's something there.
Yeah. So, but our boy Jorge Masvidal wasn't there to pass it on.
No,
Remember
he
we were talking
was.
about it?
No, he did.
Did he he didn't put the belt on him though, right? He just kind of like handed it
He
over.
put it on his shoulder. He put it on his
Yeah.
shoulder on there. Yeah, he didn't wrap it around, which I thought he was going to do that, but then
Yeah.
he put it on there. Just went to the back, like kind of like in the movies when they go off in the ponder or something.
Yeah,
like
he didn't. Yeah, he didn't really show face for me to notice. I was drinking quite a bit last night.
You're doing what I
so
usually
I missed
do.
It. Yeah. And we're killing a bottle of Crown last night.
Oh wow, I didn't do liquor last night. But yeah, I mean, so Jorge did give the belt, and they asked Justin, at the post conference, did you want the belt wrapped around you and her shoulder? He goes, I don't even know. So much shit's going on at the end. He goes, I didn't even notice. It wouldn't matter to me. He goes, all I wanted was just that belt. So, and he got it. So, I mean, to me, that's awesome. I know, just to say I have that kind of a belt. So I think that's good. And it turns out that Justin Gaethje's mother is half Hispanic, her family lives in Mexico. So I'm like, okay. I never expected that. I'm like, oh wow, I probably would have went for him then if I would have known that. He goes, they're probably celebrating, popping fireworks or something right now. Yeah, that's true.
That's pretty dope though. I didn't know. Yeah, I was rooting for Dustin, so that was my only loss for the main card, because I got the rest of the picks right.
Oh wow! Of course, I gotta say some of my picks probably weren't the best that I thought was going to win. But just real quick on this, they asked, because they mentioned Conor McGregor's name to Gaethje, and they asked him, like, hey, Conor McGregor says if you want to win the true baddest motherfucking belt, you should fight me. But Gaethje said, you know what? I asked for fights for him 6 times, and he turned me down each time. And he goes, I have no whatever anticipation to even reaching out to him at all. So it's like now that Gaethje's on the top, Conor, I think, maybe want to grab onto that tail on there.
Yeah.
So
you know what? I think I'm looking at the UFC website right now. Performance of the night has an arrow and it's pointing to Justin. So it only points to the winners.
Yeah, because before it was both, and then I recently realized during some press conferences that because Dana White will say, oh, you know what? I'm going to give him one. I'm going to give him one. And I'm like, oh, okay, so when it says performance, it's just the individual performance.
Yeah, and I think they might switch it and like call it the fight of the night, so then they reward both the fighters. So
yeah,
that makes sense. And Justin Gaethje, I think that's his 12th performance of the night. I mean, this guy's made $50,000 12 times, I want to say.
Yeah, he said out of 10 fights, I got 12 bonuses on there. So I thought that was pretty good.
$600K.
Can you imagine just as a bonus?
Yep, on top of the rest of the money. That's awesome.
So then what happened?
I was about to say during the conference, in the press conference before the fight, the pre-fight, Dustin busting out his hot sauce and all the shit he has.
Yes. And you know what? It worked because I want to look for it. I want to try it too.
I like Dustin a lot, though. He's a good fighter overall. Just humble guy. He just loves to fight, and he's violent with it. So,
and then even in the post conference, he actually had it out too. Again, the post conference, he had the same thing out.
That's cool. I didn't see the post conference. I only saw some of the highlights of some of the conversations, but I did not see Dustin. But Jan Blachowicz and Alex Pereira, that was such a close fight. That was so close. Like, I thought Alex lost just because of the takedown alone at the end. Jan had control. He had the takedown in the beginning. Second round, it was more in Alex's favor. Yeah, more of the strikes. And I felt like when he did land strikes, they were more... it's more obvious that they were making more damage, And you could tell that both of them were pretty tired. And Jan is doing the wrestling for out of nowhere, which is not part of his fighting style. He took Alex down, and he kind of drained himself just doing that. He's trying to stay on top.
Yeah, and that was pretty much the first round. He pretty much drained himself. I mean, he was just sleeping on Pereira on the first round. He's thinking he was tiring him out, but they're really just both resting there. So it's like it didn't even work out in his favor.
Yeah, I was surprised Alex had more endurance than Jan because he was carrying Jan on his back for most of the first round.
Yeah, and I still think he was more fresh than Jan. I think he still had more drive in him. Even in the third round, he had more drive in him.
So that was crazy. Split decision. Alex. I mean, there's good arguments that probably Alex would have lost or he should have lost. So
I mean, if you think about the third round and when he took him down at the end, all right, he really didn't do much. I mean, if you look at the thing, he just laid on him. That's pretty much he did. He maybe tried to do one move, but Alex had him holding. Like, he didn't do anything with that, you know?
Yeah.
He was still on top, but nothing really doing with it. There was no damage, no nothing. Pretty much sleeping on him.
So, yeah, I was glad that didn't count because I'm a fan of Alex. I like to see him do his thing and win. But he won his welcoming party. Jan finally lost.
Yes.
Taking on a middleweight, so that was pretty cool to see. I don't know. I mean, maybe
I was
just
pretty happy with
conspiracies.
that, too.
Oh, I lost you.
And after that, Pereira had his canes after that.
And then the next fight, Derrick Lewis against Marcos Rogerio de Lima?
Yeah, de Lima, yes.
I did not expect Derrick to come out with the flying knee. It just caught me off guard. And then the rest of it's like the regular big boy game. You just get on top and start grounding and pounding and hammer fist, and he did his thing.
Yeah.
I almost thought Marcos was going to try to get back up, but he didn't. He just stayed down, just covered up, which I don't blame him. Just minimize his damage before the ref stops it. And Derrick done his thing, and as always,
he must have been rocked that hard.
Yeah, and Derrick Lewis was wild as always. I was like laughing the whole time during the celebration. Right when I'm not even kidding. I was with my buddy. We were watching the fight, and I was there with my drink in my hand, and then right when I saw the flying knee, I just stood up. Like immediately, I was like, "Oh shit!" Cause he landed it too. That was exciting. It's cool to see Derrick Lewis come back from that last shitty ass performance. I forgot who it was against, but let me see real quick. Against Spivak.
Yeah.
Another Sergey Spivak. That was one of the worst performances for himself, but he came in hungry. I just saw like the post-fight conference with him. They're talking about, or just talking to him only, and he said he cut out the sodas and stuff like that, and he only missed.
Cut out his root beer.
Yep, cut out only 2 days of camp due to being sore or cramping and stuff like that. But it sounded like he really did his thing and he was ready and prepared because maybe he felt like his back was against the wall, right?
And it was. It really was because he had to do a performance because he had to show something because he was on a big loss. I mean, he was on a losing streak. And, exactly. I mean, even me and you were saying, like, this guy looks like he's done with, you know. It's going to be one of those fighters that, if you want to move up in rank, you got to go through Derrick first and then you go from there. Yeah, but this was a huge win for him.
Yep. Either you're winning like 99% of your fights and making the top 10, or you're like that transitional fighter where you're like a hit or miss sometimes, 50-50 odds of winning. But yeah, he was on the losing streak, and he definitely showed he belonged in that ring. And
with this six-pack.
Hopefully they renew it. They had the six-pack too. When he was raising his hand, he was doing the counting of the six-pack.
Yes. So do you think they're going to renew his contract?
I would say yes. He brings the entertainment. He's fun to watch. He's just like a personality that they don't want to lose. I don't think they would want to lose that. Because if not, he's probably going to go to PFL. And they'll make money off of him, And he's more the entertainment fighter. He's not so much about, like, he brings that fun side of UFC for fighting,
Yeah, it was really... it was really fun to watch and just listen to him. Of course, the shorts, when he took those off, I'm like, oh, my God. I was just cracking up on that.
Yeah.
His balls were hot. Is that what he said?
Yeah, just like last time when he did it. And Joe asked him, he's like, well, why'd you take off your shorts? He's like, my balls were hot. And then Joe asked him last night, and he like hinted again, but he didn't go into the whole saying. But yeah, he's like, my balls. Oh, man. But he got performance of the night, too.
Yeah, it was real good. I mean, he really did good. He stepped it up, and man, he really made that fight. So, well, let's see. I mean, it's up to them to get Derrick Lewis back in the ring. So, what do you think of Ferguson and Bobby Green?
I was impressed. I was talking shit before, thinking like I was gonna see another kind of like a boring fight with Nate Diaz and Tony Ferguson, But Bobby Green came in, had that energy, and he was playing. He was fighting really smart because he knows that Tony is still very deadly, and he can't submit. I mean, he's has the record in the past to bring, to show that kind of character in him. And Tony came in hot and ready too. And Bobby Green, though, with that eye poke in the very beginning, that sucked. That kind of like changed up Tony a little bit.
That actually scared me. I'm like, oh, don't tell me he's going to start being a dirty fighter. I mean, the headbutt was not a good thing for him. So when I saw the eye poke, I'm like, oh, please don't do it. Don't be that guy. But after that, he was clean.
Yeah.
After that.
Yeah, he cleaned it up, and then he got that submission in the very end. I mean, that was so close, 6 seconds away from the fight ending.
Yeah, I'm like, and Tony Ferguson just, I mean, you could tell at the end how he was struggling. His body was jerking.
Yeah, that was kind of alarming. Like, it was so weird how his legs reacted, because it wasn't in any tactical defensive trying to get out, and it reminded me of every time I had jiu-jitsu class and the little new white belts, when they don't know how to really tap out or do anything, they just start kicking their legs.
Yeah.
And I saw Tony kicking his legs, and it was just so weird, like this jerky leg kicks, and I was kind of like worried for a second, but then he came to and he was like fighting again, or at least like trying to post or like bridge up a little bit, and
yes,
then he did the weird kicks again, and then I guess that's what alarmed the referee, because you don't see that at this level, So I don't know what happened to Tony. I don't know. I haven't seen the post-conference conversations about that, but that was slightly alarming. That was kind of weird to see at the top level of mixed martial arts.
Yeah, because his body jerked like there was no air, and then his arm just gave out, and then that's when they stopped it. Like they couldn't do it no more. I couldn't no more, but it was the end, and he was out. I'm like, God dang! Ferguson didn't even tap out. Even at the end when he couldn't breathe, he didn't tap out.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm not sure if that says anything with his 6-fight losing streak. Mr. El Cucuy is teddy bear now. What's going on with that, right?
Yeah. It's just, maybe he's working out the rest of that contract, and he's probably not going to get renewed. But I'm glad he put up a decent performance, but yeah, that wasn't the ending. It was kind of weird, and it didn't look right. It's not his typical self, especially for submission defense. He just, I don't know. He went into infant mode, man. That was weird. The kicks, and I didn't like to see it.
I think that was just a natural. I think that was a natural body movement when there's no air, and they're just jerking for movement or something.
For sure,
or some type of air. Real quick, going back to Derrick Lewis, what did you think when he started taking off his gloves? Did that kind of get you there? Like, oh my God, he's gonna fucking retire.
Yeah, every time someone takes off their gloves, man, I'm like, oh shit, here we go, right? But nah, he was just hyped up, so that was cool to see. But I was slightly scared that he was gonna retire. But I think it was because I didn't know until he announced it. But that was his last fight, so I guess that was his giveaway to the audience.
And then, if you notice, when he threw the first one, and then I think the referee was Dan Murigagi, whatever. I think he even said, "Hey, give me that glove," but he threw it right when he said it. If you're gonna throw it away, give it to me.
Right.
But he threw it right there. I'm like, oh shit! I would have been the same thing. Hey, give it to me. But can you imagine trying to try on that glove when you catch it?
Right.
How big of a hand that is going to be?
Lands on her head like a hat, right?
No shit. That is something to see there. It was this Kevin Holland and Michael, and I think he went to only the first round on this one.
Yep, submission by a Darce choke too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kevin Holland stepped it up, and he mentioned that he picked up a new wrestling coach, and he definitely hit the gym with the wrestling, and he saw his defense. He went against a jiu-jitsu artist, right, and Michael Chiesa. So It was definitely very obvious that Kevin was very prepared for this type of fight to go down to the ground, and you saw him. He sprawled perfectly. He did not let Michael get the best of him. Did he only get him down once for his little bit, Michael? No, he tried to go for the leg, right? After he took the knee. He took the knee, went for a single leg, but then he couldn't finish that through. He was already stunned, probably. But Kevin looks solid. Another performance of the night to him.
Yeah,
and also
it was
Bobby Green, last fight that we talked about. But
he got performance? Oh, okay, good. Yeah, because remember, he always wants his money. I tell him, remember, he wants his money. He got it. He got his money.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I was pretty impressed with Kevin Holland. I mean, that was a pretty good fight. But I think he said he's gonna stick with middleweight or welterweight. I forget which one it was. The lower weight of which one, whatever they fought in.
Yeah, he mentioned something about like he wants the BMF to be there too for that weight class. If it's not, then he's taking his ass back up. So we'll see. He used different words, but yeah. Side conversation. Roman Kopylov. He looked good. Second round.
Kopylov.
KO. The one with the curly hair, the white guy with the curly hair.
Oh yes.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, that was pretty good for him. I mean, he deserved it. I don't think did he win his last fight? Yeah, he did. This is on his third so far at this time. He's won the last 3 that I could see.
Nothing too crazy to be super excited, but Sanhagen's a good fight to watch. I'm interested in seeing Jessica Andrade bounce back from getting submitted by Erin Blanchfield.
Yeah, it's true.
Yep. And nothing too notable just yet. I like the main fight for the prelims, Billy versus Damon Jackson. Quarantillo? Billy Quarantillo? I don't know. I'm terrible with names.
Me too, man. Can imagine.
But yeah, I was gonna say that's a good fight to watch. These guys are some solid up and comers, who don't have a rank on their name. They definitely do put up some good fights. Billy has a hell of a chin. I believe he lost against Barboza, and it was crazy to see. And then the fight before that against Alex Hernandez, he beat Alexander Hernandez from San Antonio, Ohana, my son's gym. But the guy has a hell of a chin. Gyms. Oh no, we're good. Liam will be the one to put Ohana on the map.
Damn right, he sure will.
But yeah. So he faced Barbosa, but Barbosa TKO'd him or KO'd. But he's definitely a really great fighter. I'm excited to see that one for the early prelims or the regular prelims. But other than that, I mean, nothing too crazy. We'll just put it on, bullshit, and watch it. If anything exciting happens, we'll definitely talk about it.
Well, next week is also, this is the 5th, right? So this is the Nick Diaz and Jake Paul fight.
That's the same time. Yep, same weekend, yep. Excited to watch. I don't know. This out of the hype. I'm excited to watch it, but I already know Nate Diaz is not going to win.
You know what? I take mine back. Nick Diaz is going to win. I think he's going to pull it off. I think he is.
I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I am. Because
I really think he could pull it out.
Unless he was just bullshit in the last fight.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, he's just trying to get paid and finish his contract. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming, but I think he could do it.
Probably. I mean, I can see that because Nate Diaz seems like one of those rebellious people, right? That's part of a community. He's like, oh, fuck this. I'm just like when you put in your 2 weeks notice and you're like cruise control for the last 2 weeks. Yep. You and I worked together. We talked about many employees too many times, and right when they put in their 2 weeks and they're like hardworking ass people, then they just turn into like the laziest fucking people on the fucking roster for work. So,
well, my last job, when I put my 2 weeks, I fucking went down on work performance. Fuck that.
Yeah,
I didn't even fulfill my 2 week notice. All right, well, that sounds good. All right, till next time. See you.
Later.